We've all heard about France, especially in recent days, but there's something going on in France that I think is going to have an effect, or at least a preview into the future of what we might become, unfortunately, if we continue down several of the socialistic paths that we are currently on. There were riots over the weekend in France. I'm going to play you a short clip of that before discussing what they're rioting about and how that relates to us in this country right now. Watch this. I think folks get the picture there. We can play it back. So the idea that that is happening comes with a lot of explanation. You got to understand why things are happening. Now, obviously, can't get into the minutia of French politics, but broadly speaking, everybody is aware that France has super lax retirement policies, super lax working conditions. In France, if you didn't know this, you are legally required to have 5 weeks minimum of vacation per year. You count that with weekends included, you're looking at a month and a half that you just get off. The retirement age in France is also 62 years old, with lots of entitlements that you get after you retire. The average lifespan in France is also 82. So we're talking another 20 years of people not working, funded by people who also are kind of working but still have a month and a half off per year because that's a thing that they do in France. And what is happening is their social security-esque Ponzi scheme is falling apart. President Macron is through his sixth prime minister in his term. If the government collapses, and again, not to explain how French parliament works, and I don't really even know how it works entirely, but I do know that when the government collapses and the prime minister is forced to resign, the president gets to appoint a new one. This is the sixth one that they are appointing because France has faced the reality, or is facing the reality, of overspending and not taking in enough money, which is what we all don't want to have happen here. We all witnessed Elon Musk and what his biggest issue was. That's why we created DOGE, the Government Department of Efficiency, or the Department of Government Efficiency, to eliminate the waste and roll back a lot of the spending. Because if we don't do that, we will need to institute austerity measures. And if those austerity measures are instituted, you're going to see rioting in the streets, whether you like it or not. I'm not trying to fearmonger anybody. I'm just trying to be realistic and point to a real world example that is happening now in France. They do not want any of the austerity measures to take place. Austerity measures meaning stricter restrictions on spending and higher taxes, which, again, nobody wants, but you have to face the monetary reality. What they've also tried to do is import a bunch of the third world, and ask anybody in Paris if they think that's a good idea. You go to Paris and there's a hilarious joke, and I don't want to steal her thunder, but I can't quite remember what this woman's name was. She said, we went to Paris and we got these cool hats that they wear in Paris. I forget what you call them, burkas. And while that's a funny joke, it's not a funny reality to exist in Paris and in France, a formerly great country of the world. The bottom line here is, if we continue on the trajectory that we are on now, if we elect leaders like the socialist in New York, we are going to unfortunately be going down the same path. And that is not the America that we have fought for. That's not the America that Charlie had fought for. And that's not the America that anyone wants. So fair warning, do not become France. It will be the undoing of us.